Lewis Williams, who is the new vehicle sales manager at Mazda Johannesburg South. Frances is a natural leader and has the capacity to succeed in any environment, just as she has in the motoring industry. She has a knack for management and always strives with great vision, purpose, and long-range goals. She is also an exceptional team player and often offers continual guidance, inspiration, and encouragement to her team at Mazda. So let's welcome Frances Lewis Williams. And as always, this segment is brought to you by Sariti Solutions. Hi, Frances.
Hi Desh, it's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you too. I've heard a lot about you.
Thank you. So have I about you. All good things though, so we're safe.
No, that's awesome. I hope there's only good things about me.
There's only good things.
Okay. So let's begin. Tell us more about yourself, where you come from, what you do.
Okay, so I'm the new car sales manager at Mazda Johannesburg South at the moment, and Mazda has just given me a new insight on life and the motor trade altogether. All the little hopes and dreams that were broken along the way about brands disappointing you and cars breaking and all these type of things just don't exist there. So I'm not going to go on too much about Mazda right now. Let's start with where I started off. I was a finance and insurance business manager initially because my dad said to me, "You are going on a finance and insurance business manager course." And I said to him, "What's that?" And he said to me, "Don't worry, you're going to love it, you're going to do it." Because my family has always been in the motor trade.
Right.
As in, my uncle worked for Westbank and then for Motor Finance Corporation. My dad's always been involved with insurance, Imperial, all of those guys, factoring and all the powers that go with it. And my cousin and I actually went together because our dads are identical twins, so it was just natural that it's going to happen that way.
Right.
The two of us went together, we did the F&I course, and then I became an F&I. Okay. I was an F&I for about 8 or 9 years. I worked for multiple groups in that time. It started off with a used car dealer, and then I worked for a few big groups in the process as well. And I've just been blessed on my journey. Eventually, I decided that I'm tired of seeing that a lot of people earn a lot more money than I do. And I decided to sell cars, which is basically what brought me to where I am right now. Wow. This has been an almost 3.5-year journey. September it was 3 years. Right. And I have such a passion for this brand that if you had to ask me tomorrow to leave the brand to go to someone else, it's going to be very difficult to say yes.
Yeah, no, I was actually born in a Mazda.
I love that. One of my sons were born in a Mazda.
Not really physically in a Mazda, but
no, it happened in a Mazda.
And my car at the moment, my Woman Talk car, is branded, and that's a Mazda. So yeah, I have some quite a connection with the brand.
So you understand,
I
know,
do.
that it just naturally happens, and it's just such a reliable vehicle, and your customers are happy, which at the end of the day is the most important.
You're definitely passionate, and I'm sure Maya loves the passion.
He does, he does. We force it upon him, but yes, he's also a very passionate individual.
No, he is.
And that helps us a lot, you know. It gives us the opportunity to grow and be who we are, and the support that we get from both him and the other directors as well as Lance, it's just phenomenal.
Yes. Maya, you have a good gal, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's your career. Let's talk a bit more about your personal life.
Okay.
Not too personal, okay?
Okay, we'll keep it decent.
Okay.
So I'm a mommy of 4.
Okay.
And like I said to you earlier, I've just celebrated my 2nd wedding anniversary. And my husband also works in the motor trade, and he also works for Mazda.
Yes.
Because that's just the way we are. We're a Mazda family in everything that we do. It doesn't stop when we leave the office, it carries on when we get home, and we both have such a big passion for it.
Right.
So yeah, being a mom, working in the motor trade, it's quite challenging.
Right.
But they're absolutely the reason for everything in my life. Eh? The reason that I open my eyes in the morning, I get dressed and I go to work, and just the reason for everything that I do.
Yes. And that drives you, right?
Absolutely, 100%. Just as soon as you're ready to give up, you remember that you have them.
Yes.
And they're just such a
And
motivation.
Elaine, I actually know Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine. Because I was saying to you, I didn't even know that you were married to Elaine.
How weird is that?
He was one of my first Mazda supporters when he was out in East Rand. Now he's in Midrand, right?
Yes, he's in Midrand now, and that's just who Elaine is. You know,
Yes.
he picks a person and he makes them his project.
Yes,
and he supports that person until the end of anything. And he will stand by them and he will advise them and guide them. And it's just fantastic about them. And he does exactly the same for me. I'm Afrikaans, so I think I'm a little bit challenging for him sometimes, but I'm sure he enjoys it. Because at the end of the day, we've got a perfect balance in our relationship.
Yes. No, he's an amazing, incredible guy. Like I said, one of my first supporters in the trade, giving me all the Mazdas from his dealership to drive, test drive. Like you said, he has so much of faith, and once he invests that faith and that trust in a person, he follows through with it.
Absolutely.
And so I'm
and
really
he'll never leave your side. Hey, once he's committed, that's what he does.
He's an awesome guy. So tell me,
Thank
what
you.
is it? What is one of your pet peeves?
One of my pet peeves in my entire life is just people that can't be honest. I have a complete dislike to a dishonest situation, or a situation that's created in a different light than it actually is. And it's just always like, it's better to approach life honest. If you're going to be honest with someone, I promise you the outcome is just going to be so much better than coming with a dishonest approach at the end of the day.
Undoubtedly. I mean, you just don't know what's the next step to take when you deal with someone that's dishonest.
No, absolutely.
And especially with your position as sales manager, you've got to trust the people around you, and that just literally gives you the freedom to invest more of yourself in your staff. So I get that.
Absolutely. Plus, I mean, a dishonest person, at the end of the day, we work in a type of industry where I think there's not enough honesty towards the customer, towards each other, towards any type of situation. And if honesty can just prevail at the end of the day, the customers are going to be better off. Because it's all about the consumer at the end of the day, isn't it?
No, definitely.
Otherwise, we'll never have repeat clients. We'll never have people coming back to us and trying to build a relationship. It isn't about today, what I tell you today. It's about how you come back to me in 3 years' time and you tell people to also come to us.
And people buy from people.
Absolutely.
That is definitely not a cliche. That is so true. People buy from people.
Yes.
So, okay. So tell me, you're not very much older than 16 years old, but tell me what
I love you for that.
What would Frances tell her 16-year-old self? And this question I really did rephrase it, because normally I would ask, what advice would you give to the young women out there that are watching you today? But I'm going to rephrase that. What would you tell your 16-year-old
And
self?
I like the way you've rephrased it, because it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to go into a direction with it. I think ultimately that we shouldn't limit ourselves. And we shouldn't put ourselves into a box or into a mold and say, this is what we're supposed to be. We are allowed to change. Our interests are allowed to change. The things that we like and that we don't like are allowed to change. And I just think being persistent with what you decide to pursue is the most important at the end of the day.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what I would tell 16-year-old me. It's okay. There's going to be hurdles. But just take it on and be you and what you are.
Right, absolutely. Who do you really look up to? It can be in the industry, or I look up to Oprah. But
Oprah's yours. I love that. So I don't have a specific idol to say it is a certain person. I take motivation and inspiration from the people around me. And this is constantly changing. Today it might be you. Tomorrow it might be Elaine. The day after it might be my mom. So I'm just always gathering things from people around me, and I'm making the most out of it and trying to apply it to my daily life and find my way forward through that.
Frances, how do you feel about all our women empowerment initiatives that's taking place right here from this little office in studio?
I love them. It's so imperatively important that people understand that the motor trade has space for women. Not only does it have space for women, it has the opportunity to be run by women, because women can run the world.
Absolutely.
And it's not about gender, this side or that side. It's just about us not limiting ourselves. And to have the capability to have people that empower you around you to take that stance and to move forward and to be a power woman. It's just so amazing. Women really, there is a lot of space for us in this world, and I don't want any woman to ever give up. And we don't need to put ourselves into boxes. I want to see more women mechanics out there. Because I promise you the attentiveness is just going to be something different, on a different level.
Right, it is happening.
And that's what we need.
It's amazing. Talking about that, on the same subject, you talked about women just being strong and being capable and warranting that strength. How would you, what advice would you give to women? Because we balance so much. We try and balance so much. Kids and career and your own personal challenges within. What would your advice be to actually find the strength within you or to stay inspired and motivated?
So I think ultimately it comes down to, for women, it's very important that we have a good support structure.
Yeah.
The things around us and the people around us. And the balance starts there.
Yes.
So if we can maintain the balance
Yes.
with the support structure around us and always take support and take advice from the people that mean the most to us,
Yes.
I think that we'll always find our way forward. I've been taught very recently, as in probably 7 days ago right now, that I am allowed to say not today. And when I say not today, it doesn't mean not ever. It just means not today.
Yes.
Because sometimes things become overwhelming.
Yes.
Having children and working and playing all of these things off. And especially the industry that we work in, we're always working with clients, we're meeting new people, and that is my absolute motivation to continue to work in this industry. If it wasn't for clients, I wouldn't do this job, hey, I promise you. Because that is the entire... Absolutely, yes. And it's just so interesting to meet new people every day and to be able to be put into someone's life. And I feel that there's a purpose for everything.
Yes.
So once again, I think the support structure is the most important, and just never give up.
Yeah.
Sometimes just take a deep breath, take one step back, reevaluate the situation.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as overwhelming as you feel that it is at that point in
Right.
time.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that overwhelming sensation when you wake up in the morning, like, I don't want to do today?
Absolutely, I think all of us does. I would
get out?
lie if I say I didn't.
Yes.
But I don't think it's a matter of not wanting to face the day. I just think in a certain situation or at a certain point in time, you feel a little bit overwhelmed because there's a lot of things happening.
Too much.
You need to pick up a child from school, you need to book and decide what extramurals they're going to do. Or if you can't pick them up yourself, you need to decide who's going to do it.
Yes.
We have one child that goes into therapy once a week because his speech isn't developed as it should, but he's doing fantastic. So it's such a blessing.
Yes.
So to juggle all of that and to make sense out of all of it while still having a marriage, and still being a manager, still having staff that need to report to you and you need to support them and their families.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, the women in those men that work with you in their lives are just as important as you are and just as important as they are.
Absolutely, and they need to be, they need to feel like I want to go to work, and there's someone there. You spend most of your time at work.
Yes,
absolutely. So you like kind of a mom at work as well.
Yeah,
and then you have your
and
four at
a
home.
wife. You're a wife to some people, you're a mom to some people, and you just have to fill all these roles.
Yes, and you're doing it brilliantly.
Thank you, I appreciate
Wonderful.
that.
Okay, so women don't always support each other, and I've seen that, and it's a very bad thing. But I've seen a change in the motoring industry where women actually are starting to uplift each other, and that's amazing. But how would you advise for women to change that mindset and we're not here, we should be here to empower each other?
Yes, absolutely. So I think it goes back to the 16-year-old me.
Yes.
And whenever I have a woman that approaches me in a sense that she needs a little bit of assistance or she's entering the market, I actually had a lady 2 weeks ago that phoned me for a job. And I said to her, unfortunately, we're not employing at the moment, but please can I help you and can I be a mentor to you and just give you a little bit of guidance of what to expect in an interview because she's never worked in the motor trade before. And she had her employment, hey? She was employed last week. She phoned me, she told me about it. Yes. And I think it's just about supporting each other. Right. We just need to offer the support. And when we listen, which we do quite well, yes, we talk a lot, but we listen well. When we listen, we'll find what those people need from us. And I think it's ultimately just supporting each other and being there for each other and putting yourself into someone else's shoes. Yes. So empathy. Yes. I believe very strongly in empathy. I'm a very empathetic person. I believe that if we do not possess of empathy, we are not women. Yeah. Because that is what makes you a woman.
You just said that we do listen. We do. People like you and I, we talk more than we listen.
Yes, absolutely.
We love
talking. We listen.
Now, I always say that people say that God has given you two ears so you can listen more in one mouth. And I'm like, I'm not going to dispute that. God should have given me
2 mouths.
Yeah.
In 4 years, okay? I don't want less ears, but I want more mouths. And the people around me should have more ears to listen more. Yeah.
I love listening to you. It's amazing.
Thanks, Desh. It's so nice to be here.
Oh, thank you. Can I ask you something, Frances, in terms of, you talked about not having a specific idol or someone you look up to, or, it's just people around you that feed into your aura and your surroundings and your behavior. But is there a specific quote, that really sticks with you?
Oh my gosh, you're going to be so shocked by this one. So it's a Marilyn Monroe quote.
Okay.
And she said that, I just need to remember it exactly. I learned how to walk at the age of 2, and I've done it ever since. Which just means that everything in our life can be as natural as walking, as breathing, as talking.
Yes.
And it's all about the approach that we take from it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I know it's not extremely motivational,
No.
but to me it just really gives me direction in my life that once you've been taught something and you continuously do it, you will get better and better
as long as
you
it's
go
positive.
along.
Yes.
That's it, absolutely.
Yes, no, that's amazing. Okay. Obviously, every single day you face new challenges, and it literally, these challenges, these trials and tribulations, and everything molds you into the person that you become. What would you, I don't want to ask the question what legacy you'd like to leave behind, because you're so young. You're going to die at 150. So, and with all of that energy. But what type of impact would you like to create for the people around you?
So the people around me, at the end of the day, I just always want to set a good example. I really feel that you lead by example. I'm not the type of person that says do as I say, not as I do. I believe in do as I do, not as I say.
Yes, lead by example.
So that's ultimately what it comes down to. Someone that people can look back and say, but if she said it, she would still do it.
Right.
And if she did it, she would still say it.
Yes,
absolutely. I think that's imperatively the most important to me.
Right. And is there, you've faced some challenges in the last few months. Are there any lessons you've taken from these challenges?
Ooh,
if you want to
many.
mention, if you want to mention the challenges that you have.
Yeah, so I was unfortunate enough to have COVID last year.
Okay.
And ever since in that healing process, things just never returned to normal. And all I want to say is that if you know there is something not right with you, follow it up. Because you're going to find it. You'll find that problem. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And I just run away. You can't cut.
We're not going to.
So basically it's just, we know who we are and how we are supposed to feel.
Right.
And whenever you feel that you are not who you're supposed to be, or you don't feel right, please go and follow it up. Find out, because the answer is there. Sorry.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can we have a tissue, please?
So it's extremely important just to pursue, because I've been dealing with a few health issues in this time, and I'm finally starting to get my answers.
Yes.
And all I say is that if you just let it go and you accept it to hypochondria or something that you've made up in your mind, don't believe it, you know who you are, and pursue it. Because there's still so much to be learned from COVID, the virus, the entire thing that goes with it, that I don't think scientists have all the answers yet. They don't.
No.
And we need a little bit of medical guidance to get us there.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to deal with everything I'm going through. I'm well on my way to sort it out.
I love it.
And it's so important, because I am a high functioning person. I'm a high energy level person. I'm always busy. I'm always moving around. And it basically paralyzed me from being who I was, or who I know I am.
Yes.
So just pursue it, hey? And just know who you are.
Yeah.
If you will know if something isn't right with you.
Right.
And believe yourself.
Yes.
And don't let anybody change your mind about it.
Yes. Frances, you have survived. You are now a survivor
I know, right?
of this
Thank
dreaded
you.
disease. It's turned so many lives upside down. So many have lost their lives due to this. And
Yeah, it's terrible.
you know, it's a topic that we try and stray from, but it's so important, and I thank you for sharing this.
You're welcome.
Many women in our network has been infected and affected. I've lost people as well.
It's terrible.
It's a very, very, very bad experience, and I thank you so much for sharing this with my listeners and for sharing this piece or this part of yourself. It means so much to us.
Oh, thank you, Desh. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share it.
No, you're welcome.
It's very emotional for me, but it's nice to know that there are other women out there that also know how we feel.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's somebody out there that maybe feels exactly the same way I do.
Absolutely. I'm literally at this present time counseling about 25 women that have COVID.
Oh, that's incredible.
Or their partners that have COVID in my network. And I've faced some very unfortunate circumstances whilst doing COVID counseling. I'm a rape counselor, so that's what I do. But I've had to adapt some of the mental health skills or lessons that I've learned to the COVID, because there's the COVID counselors are few and far between.
Yes.
So I'm just taking lessons from the survivors like you,
and it's
and helping the ladies that are currently going through it. So I thank you so very much for everything.
You're so very welcome.
Anyway, thank you for being here, and I can't wait to have you back.
Awesome stuff. I can't wait to come back. Thank you so much, Desh.
You're welcome. And that's the end of yet another amazing episode of Talk the Talk with me, Desh. Viewers, thank you for watching, supporting, and following us once again. And also, please remember to follow us on our social media platforms. Ladies, the concept woman empowerment is made up of two words: woman and empowerment. Empowerment means to give power or authority to women. And so, woman empowerment means that power is in the hands of women. It signifies that women should be given equal opportunity in every field, and we feel that it is necessary, especially in the motoring industry. We believe that this can be achieved through our Women Empowerment Initiatives, MWOTI, powered by MFC, and our talk show sponsored by Sariti Solutions. And in conclusion, ladies, or better yet, powerful, capable women just like the one sitting next to me, remember, the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.
That's it. Love it.